Want to kick off the first game? Jay, normally
Let's
you do the
go.
proceedings. This is your
Yeah.
forte.
When do I start? I haven't done an intro since episode 2, bro.
But you like Jim White. Check the
What
Jim
do,
White
what do we
role.
get Montel Jordan to start it over here? He's in the middle.
This is how
Montel.
we do it.
He's Simon Jordan, not Montel Jordan, this bloke.
What
Somehow.
was
All
the
right.
first game of the round? Hang on,
Forest.
It
what was
was
the first game? Was
Forest,
it Forest?
Chelsea, Big Ange.
Ooh.
Hey, didn't we say he got sacked right after the game, right? That was
16
like
minutes
record.
after full time. 16 minutes after full
Mate,
time.
as I
Straight
recall,
away.
you guys backed Forest for the win. They look.
No, I didn't.
One
I
of
didn't.
you did.
I
I
said
thought they would
Chelsea.
win.
They actually, their XG was huge. They missed actually some
No,
good goals.
you know what?
That's Angel
Again,
over the top.
Chelsea
But
were pretty
Chelsea's back
lucky.
line's terrible, man.
No, but
The
Chelsea
back
were
line's
lucky in this
terrible.
game, man. Like Forest should have been 1 or 2-0 up at half
Oh
time.
yeah.
They were the
Big time.
better team, and it's a hard luck story. Like
Unlucky. Sacked.
Forest were clearly the better team here.
Yeah.
They're just allergic to scoring and winning. They don't know how to do it at the moment.
Yeah.
Bro, Morgan
And
Gibbs White is under someone else's payroll. That bloke,
yeah,
this year
yeah,
especially.
He's
he's been
atrocious.
very bad.
Man, terrible.
That whole
Yeah.
team, even Anderson's gone backwards a bit. It's quiet.
Well, they're toothless up top. That 1 year he went through on goal early on. He never looked
Mm.
like scoring. You know what I mean?
Nah.
He didn't play.
And
He hasn't played Wood at all. The 20-goal scorer
yeah, he
Wood.
doesn't. Yeah,
Why?
he's gone cold on wood.
He
So
came on late for Zinchenko.
yeah.
Yeah, but you
And
can't.
Hudson Odoi came on off the bench at just after half time.
And
Luis,
Doi didn't play either. Dan
yeah,
Doi, the big
Yeah.
signing.
yeah.
If,
Which is
if,
interesting, right? He made some
It's a lot
pretty
of
bold decisions, and
sabotage, huge
they cooked
sabotage.
him. They
He
cooked
probably
him.
he probably wanted to get sacked
I don't know.
by the looks
I
of it.
think honestly, I just think they were pretty unlucky in this game, and every time Chelsea went forward, they scored. Like,
Yeah.
two of their back four scored. That
Mm.
Achimpong and Reece James. Your central defender and right back both scored, and you missed a hatful of chances in the first half. Like, it's
But isn't
it's
the
better
same
for
story?
Forest that it happened, huh?
Isn't the same story? He's had the same thing at Spurs where they've created
Mm.
so many chances they can't defend.
Yeah,
They should be 2-3-0 up as they haven't been clinical, and all of a sudden he's blaming everything but his team.
yeah,
I don't know. For me, it's just repetitive. It's
yeah,
been blueprint and
He's just not
yeah.
cut out for the Premier League, man. That's all it
No,
is.
I think
he's
the
done.
Premier League's moved in such a direction. They've brought back all the pullers tactics now. We throw in from halfway, set pieces
Yeah.
galore, and this guy wants to play through the middle on the carpet. With that, no one's doing that anymore. People are actually taking advantage of every single thing they can take care of that they get at their fingertips. And this guy wants to play full flair attacking football, which I don't know. I think he's missing a beat. He can't defend corners. He can't defend set pieces.
Well,
Going
bro, you
forward,
can't
he's
do that. You can't do that with Zinchenko at the back. Like
Yeah,
they're gonna get skinned.
He played
yeah.
5 at the back.
He did actually, but he
Like,
Yeah.
went.
That's a lot, and he's still got 3 goals in. So I don't know what he's doing.
And Chelsea were there for the taking. Like,
Oh yeah,
exactly what we said. We don't. He's got Gusto and Lavia in central midfield. Andre Santos, who's barely played,
yeah.
and like that. That's protecting a pretty average defense. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Far
So
out. No Palmer, no Enzo, no Caicedo. Jesus.
yeah, like their 3 best players were missing, arguably. Well, I mean,
Yep.
Pedro probably in the mix,
Yep.
but
And Garnacho got hooked at the 46-minute
half-time.
mark as well, half time.
Yep.
Yeah, well,
Who
So
they
so
brought Giddens on? Yeah, Giddens. Yep.
yeah,
yeah, they made 3 changes at half time. Guillaume,
Lavia and Garnacho got subbed off, and then I
yeah.
think and Santos as well.
Yeah. So I think that if your coach is going to make 3 subs at half time, that tells you you're playing really poorly. And
Yeah.
Nottingham Forest did not capitalize on that.
No.
But
And
have
in
you
the
noticed a
end,
lot of the big
it
teams
cost
are
his
doing
job.
that now? Like Liverpool
Well,
doing that. A lot of the teams are subbing half their players off at halftime. It could be because of obviously the substitution rules. They get 5
5.
subs now, I reckon.
Yeah.
But I've noticed a bit of a trend. Liverpool's been doing it. These guys have been doing it. Tottenham's done it as well.
What's the trend? They're all playing poorly.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but how many? Half the team, 3 players got hooked at
Mate,
halftime. That's no
I
one's done
just
that before.
I just
Nah.
think the Premier League has so much money to spend compared to everyone else. You've got really expensive signings that are sitting on the bench. If
They need
it's
to
not
play.
working, managers are feeling pressure and are like, you know what, I'm going to hook you. I'm
Yeah.
going to throw I've got a 30
Well,
million, a
Chelsea's got
40
like 40 players.
yeah, I've got really expensive players just sitting there on the bench. You're
Yeah.
not performing, you're off. It's
Yeah.
as simple as that. It's the same thing happened with Newcastle, and we'll get there. Half time we made two big changes. At half time, like who does that? And he again, this guy made three at half time.
Yeah. It's a
So
lot. It's a lot.
I think it's a microcosm of the stresses that managers are facing and pressure. Like that they really, Liverpool are making. I mean, how many times has Kirk has come off or Bradley at half time?
Oh, heaps. Every
And
game.
Slozberg slotting in at right
Yeah.
or left, wherever he's playing, like they're on really short leashes. You're making a mistake, you're done.
How are we thinking Big Sean will go there?
Well, I think if you're onto your third manager by October,
8 games
there's a
in.
very good chance they're going to stick it out with this guy for a while,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And if the players know Dyche ain't going anywhere, and he won't, like I think Forest just want to survive this year now. Like I
He's
don't
a big
think their goal
relegation
is.
battler.
Yeah,
Marinakis not scared to pull the trigger, but that's the problem.
I know, but Rick, you
Well,
can't
how
have.
many
It's
managers can you go
impossible to have
before
four managers in
January?
a season.
If they continue
Before
losing, because
January.
Sean Dyche doesn't play attacking football, he's under siege.
Nah, I don't
But
think
he's
the
loving
real.
it. He's got two big centre backs there already. He can build his little team there. He can
I,
fight the
I saw
relegation.
his interview and he's talking about playing on the front foot. I'm like, that is not Sean Dyche. That bloke plays on the back
No.
foot half the game.
Well, I think he lied on his resume.
He must have. There's no way
You
this
know?
team's playing on the front foot under Sean Dyche.
No, I don't think the remit there is for him to pick up where Ange left off. The remit is to
No.
be solid and
Yeah,
get some results.
which is
Yeah.
You
good
know,
at.
this is not a, this is not a team where okay now we still want to get top 5, 6. This team
Yeah,
needs to consolidate in midfield and have a cup run.
yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
this year is
In
about.
Europe or something. Yeah,
Yeah, that's it.
yeah.
So anyway, Ange lost his
Anyway,
job, had to lose it.
we
I
called
think,
it as
yeah,
well.
and
Anyways,
there's no longevity there.
I don't think Ange can be employed in England for many, many years now. I think he's just no
No,
one's
I
going to
think
touch him.
his time in the Premier League is done.
Yeah,
He's
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 cooked
taken
hard.
two big hits, yeah, and he's managed two decent teams,
yeah.
Tottenham and Forest.
Mm.
But
Hmm.
I just think Forest was a really risky move. This is a team that really outperformed last year. No one tipped them to be in the top 8, and when they
Mm.
were flying all year, everyone was crediting Nuno, and he was well loved. So you're taking on a team. It's
Yeah,
like buying the stock at an all-time high.
yeah.
It can only go one way.
Hmm.
It's probably going to go down. You know what I mean?
But they were
And
Yeah.
people are going
tapering
to
off
cash in.
as well last
Mm.
year. They actually tapered off at the end. You
They're
notice?
Yeah, well, that's what
redlining
I'm
big
saying.
time.
They'll go
They
on
were
that and they did
redlining.
that.
Hmm.
That's right. That's right. So anyway,
Anyway, next game. We had a couple of games at the 1 o'clock mark. So we'll start off with Sunderland and Wolves, Rick.
your
I
team.
Big
told you,
Sunderland.
mate.
You texted me as the game finished.
I'm
Sunderland.
telling you, that Sunderland team is not a promoted team. That team plays well within its within its where it's positioned in terms of seventh on the table. They look like they've been in the Premier League for quite some time. And again, they were at home. They're hard to play against, and they've proven that again against Wolves. They were all over Wolves. So this could have been
What do
3
you
or
mean?
4
What
now.
do you mean all
No, they
over,
weren't.
Rick?
They
Rick, they
were.
Did
weren't.
you see the statistics on this game? The
What do you mean?
statistics were Wolves 60% possession,
And his own
Sunderland at
goal.
home 40% possession, Wolves 16 shots, Sunderland
Yeah,
8.
but there was none on.
Oh,
Had me on goal.
what I'm saying, Sunderland's XG at home 0.65, Wolves 0.85. What I'm saying is it was a really close game which Wolves edged, and Sunderland were clinical enough. One of them was an own goal. Like
It
Hmm.
I
was,
think
but I
Sunderland
think
are they're not they're better than they're better than a promoted team, and they're obviously going to stay up this year, but they're getting way too much credit for their performances. They haven't been amazing,
well,
you know.
they've been 3 months in the BPL and they've got 15 different signings and they're seventh. You got to give
I
a lot
know,
of credit.
but Rick, have a look at the data behind all their results. Again, at home, they've got 40% of the ball versus the bottom team in the Premier League, and
It
they
was
had and they barely had
I
an XG to a
the
0.65.
first half. First half, Sunderland were the better half,
thought
and
they
then
were
Wolves
better.
came out.
Yeah,
Wolves came out firing the second half. That was more
Exactly.
of the case.
Yeah.
But
To
that's
be
So
honest, I thought Sunderland were the better team, but I literally watched most of that game. I fell asleep. It was too hard to watch because I was flicking through that at Newcastle. But I
Jesus.
thought Sunderland were the better team. I don't know. That's my opinion. But
I just heard
again,
a Newcastle scouting report throwing a comment in
no,
there.
no.
oh no, like, I was trying to flick through all the games. It's too hard to watch them all at once.
No, Wolves definitely played better the second half, but they
That's
came
right. They picked
firing
it
at
up.
the second half. But
they,
first
oh,
half
they,
was Sunderland.
I think that's Wolves in general this season. That they're in games, but they're not in games. Like they're close, but they're not there. Like they're
Mm.
they'll get some good chances, but they don't finish. They were unlucky, but then they don't finish the game off. That's them the whole
Yeah.
season so far.
When are they going to pick up a win, man? Like they're getting so close to getting that W. They can't get it. I don't know when it's going to happen
Well,
because
Yeah, well,
they've already
they're
went
on
through half the comp.
they're on 2 points, man,
yeah,
right?
it's very
And
hard.
to be honest, they deserve something from that game. Like a 2-0 loss was a bit harsh on them, in my opinion. Like I watched the extended highlights of this game, and Sunderland, okay, they scored early and maybe back when took the foot off the accelerator. But in the first half they were good. They had one or two other chances, but Wolves were not out of it. As I said, they had more ball. They pushed the pace in the second half. They had a couple of better chances. They had more shots on goal. They were peppering them. And then to lose 2-0, I don't know, it's a harsh result. But when things are rolling for you like they
Yeah,
are for Sunderland,
everything
you
goes.
ride the wave, man. You keep picking up points.
I don't.
You know?
I don't
Yep.
know. I'm indifferent with Sunderland. I think they're a lot better than people think they are. I think people right. I'm less surprised than most people about Sunderland.
For a promoted team, they're solid, but I wouldn't go any higher than a mid-table team.
Oh no,
They're
no.
going to just survive.
But think about it. Most promoted teams this time around with the difference in cash get
Mm,
relegated or they're in the relegation zone. These guys are on 14 points already. Last
yeah.
year, I'm pretty sure Southampton only picked up 3 wins or four. It's only these guys have already passed. I think Southampton are one of the teams last year already. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sunderland, Leeds, and Burnley. I think they're doing quite well from a promoted standpoint.
Yeah, they definitely have. They've picked up.
Surprised
They've
me a
been
lot.
clinical. They've been
Yeah,
clinical. They've had chances and they've put them away.
yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't need to
Yep.
play amazing every game, but they're finding the willpower to win games, and that's
I
a
think
that's a
that's the
very good
theme for
sign.
this comp. Don't worry about how good you play. It's just getting a win because everyone's all over the
Well,
place.
that leads us to the next game, Burnley and Leeds. Burnley won 2-0, but Leeds had an XG of like 2.5. Leeds were all over them the whole game. I
Yeah.
told you Burnley would get them on the counter. They did
First
twice,
10
and
minutes.
that's what. Yep, the 10-minute caveats.
Wow. Look at the stats on that game.
Yeah,
Oh,
huge.
19 shots to 4 leads.
yeah.
Um, 5 corners to 1. It just 70% possession to 30. It's basically Leeds were just
All over it.
running riot
Yeah.
at Burnley, but Burnley got 2 chances and scored.
Did you see
Dude,
the
from
goal they
like the
scored, Burnley? The shaker from
Unbelievable.
outside the box?
Huh?
yeah.
That Leslie will
But
go.
I said to you last week, Burnley can score. They're a crap team, but they can be dangerous off the counter. They've played like that every single game. Leeds. So if you watch the game from 70th minute to around the 90th minute, Leeds had about 12 shots within that period. Leeds were on the front foot that whole time. But
Man, how
again,
bad is Calvert-Lewin?
Calvert-Lewin
What
is
is
their
going on there?
problem.
Man,
What
Right,
is
maybe
going on with this
I
guy?
think Leeds would suit Big Andrew's style. They just wasn't in a front foot.
Yeah,
No defense, just go forward.
Yeah, nah. Leeds are crap, man. They're just nah. Don't rate them. But I
he's
did
very
say
bad.
I called Burnley 2-0 or 1-0, and then that's what happened. It's Burnley are dangerous, man. They can catch you off guard.
Dangerous.
They
Dangerous.
are. They are.
I
I'm
think
serious. They
I
are.
think it's still a bit early. Come Christmas, we'll see how dangerous teams are then.
Yeah.
Rick,
Look,
they've won. They're on 7 points. Burnley's probably arguably the worst team on paper, and they're on 7 points
Yeah,
now.
but they're
yeah.
floating above the relegation zone. I don't expect Forest to be this bad, or
But
maybe.
Jay, if you're playing a struggler, another
Yeah,
promoted team, and you're conceding 70% possession at home,
that's
and
crazy.
they're just absolutely peppering you, it's more of a reflection on what sort of a team you are. You know what I mean? Like you're going to be a scrapper. Like
Yep. But
2.6,
half
like
the comp
19
haven't
shots
been.
to 4, 70% possession, 5 times the amount of corners. Like if Leeds had anyone that had any capability to score,
Game's over.
this could be a riot. You know what I
Well,
mean?
that's why Leeds are at the bottom because they
That's
can't.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
So, but if you look at half the comp, like what Rick said,
yeah.
actually most of the comp, no one's really playing well. They're
No,
just getting
apart from
results.
Arsenal.
Besides you guys,
Apart,
but you
apart
guys are
from
playing.
Arsenal,
You guys are
Arsenal and
boring.
Haaland.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right. Arsenal and Haaland.
yeah.
That's it.
That's the summary of the first 8 games of
And
the comp, to be
Semenyo.
honest.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
It's a menu,
Semenyo,
yeah.
yeah.
Wait, what'd you say? Arsenal are boring?
you got like as in to watch you guys. You don't. it's not exciting football. You just win
No,
games.
it's not. But we control the game. It's a
Yeah.
lot slower
I
pace.
know.
We're
That's
not.
why I'm not giving you guys crap because you actually have got a chokehold on the game. But most of your
Yeah.
goals have come from headers and flick-ons and shin
No,
pad
we've had a
kicks.
couple of good goals, bro.
Set pieces.
Yeah, set
Gyökeres came off
pieces.
his hip today.
Did
Yeah.
it?
Huh?
No, Martinelli's
Ah.
one wasn't. The other three weren't. It was just
No,
Gabriel's
no,
one.
I know, but most of the
Anyways,
games, yeah.
okay, all right.
Yeah,
Anyways,
go.
we'll get to Arsenal. Let's go to
Let's
Brighton
cover
and
Arsenal
Newcastle.
now. All right, whatever.
Isn't it 1 o'clock
Arsenal
the
now.
same? Fulham.
Same
It's-
time.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
Arsenal were later. Arsenal Fulham
Oh,
were later.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
3:30.
yeah.
No, we'll go Newcastle and Brighton. With
Yeah,
the
I mean,
Waldemar with the back heel, unlucky man. 2-1.
look, to be honest, out of the gates we came out. We looked okay early on, but before the preview show, we said this could either be a draw or a goal either side.
Yeah.
Like it was going to be a close game, and it proved to be the case. Like I thought in the second half we were better. Speaking of substitutions at halftime,
Yeah.
Joelinton and Langer came off, and really they've been real inhibitors to us this year. Both of them, Joelinton, Langer, I think eventually will come okay, but Joelinton, I think this was the game which sort of marked that he's no longer a starter for Newcastle.
Now we
He
said to
can't
you,
start.
Joelinton's your problem. He's your
Yes,
problem
yeah.
in midfield.
He's not you've got Tonali and Bruno who can make all the passes, and this guy is just turning the ball over. He's conceding silly fouls. It's not the type of game where you can, those two guys are sort of covering him up a lot for a lot of the time. And he's just been on the downward trajectory for a while now. And he was dreadful in this game, man. Like anytime we tried to get the engine going, he held us back. Halftime came, it was almost like a different team. Like we had Ram Jacob Murphy and Miley came on at halftime, and surprisingly again he stuck with the same formula today in the Champions League.
Mhm.
Out came Alanga, out came Joelinton, in came Miley, in came Murphy,
Murphy.
and that cohesion all of a sudden looked. And to be honest, in the second half, it looked like there was only going to be one winner. Once we scored the goal, we started pushing them. Bruno missed the shot, another deflection. There was just so many little 50-50 things that could have gone our way, and you're thinking, hang on here, are we going to get the second goal and win it? And then we were pushing for it, and then these guys suck at us. And Danny Welbeck, another great finish. Like what can I say?
With the brace.
No, it was almost like a sucker punch at the end. Like we smelt blood. We thought we could win, and we ended up copying that
Welbeck's
loss.
been playing well. He's got like 4 or 5 goals in the comp
He's
already.
got 4, but I mean,
Yeah.
we gave him 2
But that-
ourselves.
I actually no. I think Newcastle did start well. I watched them. And I thought you guys were going to score in the first 10 minutes. Like I thought you guys were pushing, and then Brighton started coming in the game, and then they just literally were running through the middle of you guys, and I thought, shit, here we
Yeah.
go. That goal
Yeah.
they scored, they just literally walked through the part of the seas with Botman and
No, it was a pass straight. The two
they dribbled
defenders.
it. Rudiger dribbled it. Rudiger's dribbled
Yeah.
it through. Played
There was
Welbeck
no
through. Boom.
midfield. There was no midfield. There was literally a pass
No
for
one.
a striker to run in. Like it.
It was a real
That
simple
was
goal.
terrible, terrible.
Yeah. But
And
I don't know. I just
You know.
I think Newcastle. I don't know. They're a funny team for me. I don't. I
away
just
from home, we're not convincing at all, and that's been
Mate,
the
you
case
just-
for a long time.
I don't know. I just
just-
something. I think even looking at Gordon, he did a few good things at Brighton. This morning he had a good game, but against Brighton, it was hit and miss. Alanga, not going to go there.
Nah.
It
You're
just,
lacking. You need goals, Chuck.
the cohesion's just not there. I don't know. Something's weird.
Nah.
Like
No,
Voldemar.
the key thing
can't be-
is that we're not getting goals, Rick. And
You need goals.
Yeah, but
all
your
we've been
midfield's a bit
relying
patchy.
on.
Your midfield's a bit patchy as well.
Yeah, well, of
Bruno's hit
course.
and
But
miss.
it stems from the midfield, bro. They've got
Yeah,
what's his
well,
name,
for me-
Joelinton in the middle.
Well, for me,
Joelinton's been
the games are.
Joelinton's fingerprints are all over our problems, same as Alanga. And actually, I'm very surprised at how threw in a signing like that straight away. Because when Isak came, he took his time. When Bruno came, he took his time. When Tonali came,
Well, the clock's ticking
Longstaff
now,
was
isn't
in
it?
there. Like all these key signings that he brought in, he gave them all 5-6 games on the bench, and you're just going, when is he going to start these guys? When are they going to play? Whereas Alanga was very different. He goes, you know what, Murphy, you're on the bench. Alanga, you're straight in. And then when it culminating with Joelinton's real drop off, he's a squad player now. He's not a starter anymore. He's a squad player. And those two guys have really affected the cohesion of the team. As I said, to be honest, I'm not excited. I'm not over the moon. Like I'm happy we won this morning in the Champions League. We had to because we want to get to the second round. But for me, it's only half time. The job is not done until we beat Fulham on the weekend, right? We have to beat Fulham, and I know we'll preview the game, but for this particular game, Joel Linton and Alanga were real problems. Jacob Murphy came in, he looked a lot better. Miley came in, started pinging passes. You know, all of a sudden the team started getting its engine again. And, I think we've got something to build on. But this was a very disappointing result for Newcastle. Like, we should have at least got a goal. Sorry, held on for a draw. Um, the only positive I can say about this result was Walter Mata again. Like he's had 5 shots on target in the
Yeah.
Premier League and he scored 5 goals. He's not working with anything, but he's just, finding a way to score, So, the quicker someone like Wissa comes back to
The
gives
better.
us that dynamism up front as well, to give us more options. How many points are we going to drop before we find our feet?
I don't know. Also, you got Dan Burn left back now, which is I don't know
No,
for how
that's a
long.
big problem. That's a
That's
big problem.
I saw Minter go through a few times, and I'm like, shit, that's not good. Luckily, he didn't capitalize. But again, teams like Fulham have got pacey wingers, and also got like Josh King up front as well, who kind of run at him. I don't know.
Well, Dan Burn's a problem. Trippier's 35, Dan Burn's 33, 6,
Yeah.
7, slow. So, our fullbacks are a big issue.
Yeah.
We need Livramento and Hall back, because they give us balance, and one has a nice left foot, the other one can go forward and has got pace coming back. But the reality is, Murphy has to start from now on. Gordon looks like he's found his spot. Barnes is a sub. We've always said he's a great sub. He comes off, he kills teams when they're tired, and he can finish. And Alanga, there's, that the pressure's on him. He's got to find a way to get into this team, and that's not going to be given to him anymore. And I'm not going to say it again. Joel Linton, he's a sub player from now on, right? He comes out, we can actually string passes together. The difference this morning in the Champions League between the weekend versus Brighton and Miley coming in for Joel Linton. Oh my God, it was chalk and cheese. Miley's out there zipping passes.
Benfica aren't anything special, Chuck. They're a really poor team. They're literally got 0 wins. They're at the bottom of the table.
Yeah, but who have
They're
they
really
played with?
poor.
They were very unlucky to not get something at Stamford Bridge when
They're
Chelsea
poor,
had
bro. They're really poor.
No, but I'm
Really
saying they
poor.
only lost 1-0, but it was a really close game.
Chuck,
They're not.
They were poor. I've watched them. They're really
Anyway.
poor.
Bro, fucking Mourinho walked off at halftime.
I know. I saw it. I was like,
did you see that?
I'm surprised they didn't lose 5-6-0 against you guys, to be honest. So,
Yeah. Well,
Especially the second half. The second half, you all over him.
bro, he killed them.
Yeah.
Like I was watching that game, I'm
Yeah.
like, this is a joke. But having said that, it's good in for you guys. Doesn't
We
matter.
need
Nah, you
to
needed
win,
that.
man.
Either
We
way.
need
You need
those
that.
wins, and we've got Fulham and West Ham away the next 2 games.
Oh, mate, they're
And
sitters. Come on.
anything
points.
less than 6
Sitters.
points is a big
Have you seen what West
disappointment.
Ham are all about now?
No,
They're a mess.
I know, Rick. And I'm
Bowen
saying
to leave in January.
I'm putting pressure on Newcastle to deliver in this situation, and I think we can.
Mate, it's a
If we
must.
can get 6 points in the next 2 games, that could take us to 15, and I think we'll be around 8th if we can win the next 2 games. And all of a sudden, we're back in the hunt. You know what I mean? But we need to win the next 2 games. That's the key.
I think it's
I think we will. That's not a lock, but I think we can.
Fulham
I
and
think
West Ham, bro, they're walkovers.
No.
Nah, you
He's
should
got
beat them,
SJP
man.
at he's got
We
SJP
should-
at
we
home.
Fulham's a lot tougher than West Ham. West
Nah.
Ham's
No,
I
I
agree.
agree.
Newcastle,
West Ham are
man.
at 6s and 7s. West Ham are at 6s and 7s.
That could be a
And the
4-0
good
rout.
news is, I think Wissa will be back for West Ham away. So
You're fine.
that's something we'll.
Nah,
fine.
I wouldn't even worry about that.
I wouldn't worry. I just don't trust this team moving forward. I don't think this is a top 5 team at all.
Well,
And
as
I
I
said it a
said,
long
if
time
we
ago.
can,
At the moment, no.
No,
At
I
the
told- I
moment,
said it. I
no.
said it a while ago. I'm looking at the 11. They've got the same 11 as last year, basically, minus Waltermard. And now they're going to put Murphy back in there for Olanga. That's literally last year's team, pretty much.
yeah, but Murphy was one of the best wingers in the Premier League last year.
Yeah, but
You're
Isaac
acting
was
like you're throwing
converting.
in a
Yeah,
spare
but
part
he-
player.
Yeah, but Isaac was
Come on.
converting goals off his hip half the time, Chuck. You're missing
Well,
it.
Yeah,
what's Walter Mata doing?
Yeah, but
he's
Isaac
doing
and
flicks.
Walter
He's doing
Mata,
flicks.
different.
I'm singing futsal.
All I'm saying is I think you've pumped up this team quite a bit, if I'm being honest with you. Like I'm looking at this team, I think this team is not a top 5 team at all. And I said that to you a
We'll
long
see.
time ago. No, we'll see.
where it goes.
But
We'll
at the
see.
same time, I think the midfield, and he didn't play Tonali this morning. He gave him a rest, I know.
No, because Tonali had a flu.
No, he has to rest him anyways. He can't
Yeah,
play 15 games a
So
bloody
it was
week,
touch and go.
which is good for you. But
No,
when you
exactly.
when you start
He'll
having
come
harder
back.
games,